What's up everyone, it's Jambors, new video, and today I'm going to talk about countries which made it to top 10, basically Czech Republic, Belgium, Ukraine, Australia and Estonia. And I will tell you details what I think about all of them, about their way, about why they end up where they end up, because they mostly share the same fate. Very interesting. Let's talk. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm very glad you're here. I really hope you're enjoying my Eurovision after, and then you are craving for information from my side, my thoughts, my opinions about the rest of the peloton. Basically not the rest of the peloton, actually the most successful countries for this video. I said in the beginning that they share the same fate. Only Ukraine is the only country who got more votes from public than from the juries, but then the rest of the countries for top 10, basically 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th country received much more points from juries. And that's very interesting, and I have opinions why, of course, and at some points I don't understand it, at some points I do kinda understand it, but must say that all of them made a great job making to top 10. So even if I will criticize something, come on, it's a critique still for top 10 countries, how maybe could they done it better, whatsoever, blah blah blah, but they reached top 10, so that means something. And also from my point of view, when they received much more points from juries, it also means that the professionals really acknowledge the quality of the songs. Maybe not the rest, but definitely from the songs and probably even from the performance which they made in the jury rehearsal, which we didn't see. So I think this is something which it's very hard to tolerate, because we just saw the second half of the performance, the part for the public. And speaking of public, let's talk about Czech Republic. Czechia. Czech Republic ended up on the 10th place. Let's say Czechia. I think both of those namings are valid. It's sometimes very hard for me to switch to Czechia, even I'm a big fan of it. Anyway, Vesna and My Sister's Crown, from the very beginning, one of my favorite songs. Definitely a strong song with kind of strong message, but I don't really care too much in the song about the message, or I never really cared about the message that much, as I mostly cared about how it sounds. The sound of the song is just great. It's phenomenal, and also I am pretty sure that is the reason why it ended up 10th, because from my point of view, it wasn't because of the staging, or it wasn't because of the vocal performance or choreography or anything was happening on the stage, but it was because of the quality of the song itself. And I'm pretty sure that is the reason why they received so many points from juries, and also why did they end up 10th. Because if I just take the rest, of course I can judge only based on public performance from the finals, basically. I can tell you this. First of all, when I was watching Eurovision 2023 finals, I was in Gran Canaria. I was in the bar with many other people watching Eurovision. And when they watched this performance, I was proud. I was in completely different mood, so I was like, yeah, wow, great, proud, all the positive emotions. I wasn't really focusing at some details whatsoever. I was like, yes, please sing it well, and that's enough for me, basically. But the rest of the people in the bar, they were like, yeah, okay, the song happened, yes. And I was like, okay, this is weird, because what I would expect from the song, because it didn't receive so much points from the public, I expected from the beginning that this is exactly the song which will receive much more points from public that from the juries, actually. But I was mistaken in this. Gladly or not gladly, doesn't matter. But if I just was looking at it many times after, and especially before I was doing this video, I was focusing on staging a lot, and I must say I'm not a big fan of the staging this year, because in my perspective it didn't have any concept. It was like many departments were working on it, didn't talk to each other. Like every segment was done a bit differently, so I actually didn't know what to catch. if I should catch this nice idea with the knocking. But why, how colorated was it with the, you know, how does it actually, ponytail? How does it really called? What coloration it has with the rap part, which, you know, for me, from my perspective, this show was made for the arena as a concert, and then somehow was taken by cameras nicely. There were a few very nice moments, especially the one from the last time when they reached the circle part of the stage, and then, you know, this effect worked. In my opinion, if all of it was done somehow there, without so many choreography, which made no sense, with so many LED effects, which didn't really, there was so many things, you know, so many things to focus at, that actually it was very hard to focus at anything. Actually, that was my biggest problem with the song on stage at Eurovision. Like visually, if I just, you know, take colors, and, you know, it looked very, very good. I think there is nothing like repeating his story with the terrible staging from Czechia. No, not really. But I think if we want to go further, and I had a bit of problem with this even last year, that it was more like only effect to look good without any concept, kind of. It still had the slide concept, but this year it didn't really had anything I would remember. It missed some moments, some points, some, you know, we were always having one thing in there which you could remember, which becomes somehow a video itself, a GIF or something like this. We are missing it in here, and I think that's a part of the problem why public didn't vote for it. It was just too much confusing visually, because I'm not really sure that public really care how performers are singing. Of course, it wasn't the strongest singing, but definitely it was actually okay. But 10th place, come on, this is the second best placing for Czech Republic ever, with the third best point, you know, aggregation. So perfect, let's continue this way. I think such critique is still great, and also what is perfect, that this song is one of the most successful songs of Eurovision 2023 also, and for sure, by far, still is the most successful song which was made in Czech Republic in year 2023, which is also something. And I think it won't change till next year, till next Eurovision song. Let's see. Let's see. Next song. Australia Promise by Voyager. For me, because I'm a fan of metalish, metal pop, nu metalish songs, for me was fantastic to hear them, but especially to see them. For me, one of the best stagings, awesomely taken idea with the car, with the movement, so it was very dynamic from the very beginning, very well sung, very well presented. There was nothing bad about it, so I also was very surprised that such song, actually I wasn't surprised that juries liked it, because it was by professional level, sung perfectly, performed perfectly, and the song was original in all the peloton, everywhere, you know, no song was by genre similar to this, not even Germany. Like, it's like kind of a bit different thing, or it's a lot of different things. I think the root fans of those genres will tell you like there's nothing in common. Anyway, Australia brought something fresh. They reached top they reached top 10 again. And I'm just curious why public didn't vote for it. Maybe because of the genre wasn't the best, or the placing in the finals. I have no idea, because I think they deserved a bit more of it, because everything about this presentation was perfect, and also the song. So basically, maybe only the song wasn't just the right thing for Eurovision public this year, or I cannot really imagine what was the problem, because by the staging it was really greatly done. It has this rockish concert feeling by concept, but also movement in the LED, so they killed, you know, the flatness of it. They killed, and they worked with the dynamic cameras, one of the most dynamic cameras this year, so actually it was possible to edit it better in many other cases if Australia could do it. And I think that found the sweet spot how to adapt such songs for Eurovision. Not push it too much, but still keep it the genre-wise dynamic and a bit mad, kind of, also with the, you know, with the fans. I really enjoyed it, and Ninth place is perfect. Maybe it deserved a bit better, but although the competition was very, very strong actually after all, so no regrets, and I think Australia can be and is very proud that they sent rock band and they placed like this. Perfect, perfect. I really enjoy this one. I watching it all over and all over again because I think this you can study for how you can approach the staging with the band. Very smart way. Perfect work from whoever did this staging. I really liked it. Next song. Next song, next country, Estonia bridges Alika and her brilliant voice. The reason why she ended up 8th, it's the fact that she was probably the best singer of them all. Best singer by the charisma of her voice, the strength of her voice, the sureness of her performance. Like, the performance itself, if I say staging and whatsoever, in my opinion, wasn't really that good. The piano idea, like, come on, it's 2023, it's just look weird when it plays by itself, then you sit behind it and play it, everybody knows it's a fake. I don't really got the reason why. Maybe it was something in the song, bridging like the world of alive and the deaf or something. Maybe I need to educate more myself, but I, as a, random viewer, the average one, or maybe even below average, I don't really care about it. I just care about if it's eye-catching, if it got me or not. And without her singing like she was singing, of course this is a big part of it, from the very first beginning, they would never end up like this. Maybe they wouldn't even qualify, but her voice, like basically she pushed the song to the another level. The song itself has a very beautiful melody. It's very known, it's very familiar, but also very strong. And whenever she sings, I have goosebumps. I really have goosebumps. Like whenever she put the high tone, stands there, but it's not too much also. That's not like this diva crazy kind of thing. And I think they made it because of Alika to the 8th place. Also, juries said, yes, it's because of this. And the public says, oh, it's not for us anymore. And I like this kind of balance because public sometimes really like, or sometimes they mostly like the crazy, blah, blah, blah. Then when it's a lot of dancing, lots of effects, a lot of explosions, a lot of craziness because they want to enjoy. And then there is something professional like Estonia sent. Professional, like all of them were professional, but in this kind of way. And then if you are the person who works somehow with music professionally or in TV industry and you just have this voice, this charisma and this performance, you must say like, hey, like you can do whatever fireworks you want, but it's not it. The soul is here. The soul is here. And Alika brought this song a huge soul. And that's the reason why they end up when they end up. And that's the reason why it's very hard for me to critique anything else, because for me mostly all Eurovision thing is about the artist, and she grabbed my attention completely. And then the song also, because she breathed the life to this song, she gave it to it. And then the staging, okay, it wasn't really good, no one cares. There were 8. Come on. Next song. Gustav, Belgium, Because of You. One of the biggest surprises. One of the biggest surprises this Eurovision for me. I know I made a video about surprises, but I wait for Belgium to be in this video because I wanted to do top 10 last 5. This was a huge surprise from the very beginning. For some reason I was like, hey, this is obsolete, old school song. I wasn't a big fan of Gustav, to must say, of his presence and so on. For me, it just didn't really work out, kind of, and I was like, I'm unsure, but other part of me says like, hey, this song is very catchy, like very, very catchy. I know it by heart. I heard it a million times before somehow, and I like its vibe. So when I close my eyes, I don't watch Gustav, I can enjoy it absolutely fully. And only what I didn't expect, that they also will bring perfect staging. Yes, it was simple. It was very simple, but it was very chic, They use the LED properly, they keep some of those panels for the most of the song off, so it created the depth that it's not that flat. They use just white as a concert stuff, but it was with a huge Gustav presence. It wasn't that annoying for me, if I must say, as I expected. And then as a whole, I completely enjoyed the whole dynamics of the song, because this why I think it deserves so many points. But what surprised me, that public didn't vote for it that much, because I would say that this is more, definitely more public song, because of its vibe, of its dynamic. It was craziness, but also it was this by staging, and I now can more understand it. It was kind of more chic, more down to earth, more fitting the song. It didn't try to please anyone. It was just surrounded by the idea what is this song about and how to make it a 90s modern way, fresh way, not like, let's say, Poland, which used different concept of 90s or 2000s for it, which was also brilliant. Belgium did the same. They supported the song completely, and the Gustav was just the cherry on the... Will you say cherry on the top? That's as Czech says? What do you say actually? But he was basically the best part of it. Then also the dancers, the back singers. It was just so refreshing. It was something else, something very simple, something very boring. No, definitely, if it wasn't something, it was boring. That's the word which doesn't very define it. And even I play this song now after 3 months or something like this. I was enjoying it probably the most from all of those, 5 songs I'm talking about today, because its vibe is so positive that I just couldn't resist to be happy about watching it again. And for me, it was very hard to find some wrong stuff about it. Even I remember myself when I was watching for the first time, I wasn't really super satisfied with the fact that after a while they used all the screen LED and made it a bit flatter. I think it still was a bit of mistake visually for eyes, but on the other hand, when I watch it now, I was like, well, I don't care. I really enjoying the other things around them, and I don't focus at such details, and probably not even viewers. So for me, still, it's a bit mystery that they didn't really vote for it that much. But juries did. Juries felt it, and I'm glad that we have juries, because they can recognize quality when it is here. Yes. Last song. And last song is Ukraine, Heart of Steel, Tvorki. I never know this. Come on, why is this so complicated? One word. This is the only country which received much more points from public than from juries. And I think it's kind of, let's honestly, obvious reason, and not even like I like the song. I must say I like the song. First of all, the song is very good. I enjoy it in my headphones. I enjoyed the staging. I enjoyed its presence. But I must say also that Ukraine was given points of solidarity this year somehow. Maybe not too much, but also, well, let's talk about it. It's nothing wrong about it, actually. I don't really feel it's anything wrong to say it. Because also they were better songs, but did they deserve the 6th place? Yes, of course, it's still the combination of points, right? And it really doesn't matter why are you giving points to any country. You can like the song, you can like the country, you can like the artist, you can like whatever about it. People are giving points to crazy stuff, and this wasn't crazy. From my opinion, I don't really get why juries didn't vote for it a bit more, because the song was very good, very fresh, very different. By public, also what I think affected them also was the staging, which was very original. I really enjoy stagings done by Ukrainian artists, artistic directors. They are just a bit different, but they have such good visual approach all the time, every single time. Maybe in 2018 it was for me a bit cringy, but then the rest, as far as I remember, it was always brilliant stagings, brilliant with all the other different colors, different approach, different ideas, this idea with the robot, this Terminator topic in it, Heart of Steel thing that Basically, we are like, if I understand correctly, it means like hey, we cannot be destroyed, something like this, or it's very hard to destroy us. Which, yes, please, we all see it. So yes, thanks God. But the idea, of course, it wasn't maybe performed perfectly, but still for me, it was something new, something fresh, and I really liked that the Ukrainians, they have absolutely great visual, they just work visually absolutely stunningly. So they understood all the weaknesses of the stage, and they moved everything as further as possible to create this depth, and it worked. And I think they deserve the 6th place absolutely, in my opinion. However people vote, even I said my opinion, it still is the same. They receive points for 6th place, and I think deservedly, because they brought something different, greatly performed. Actually, it only wasn't choreographically perfect, but then the rest absolutely okay. I think juries could really bring in a bit more points. Anyway, another 10th place. I think Ukraine is one of the most successful country in past decade also, and deservedly, because they always bring something original, even by music. And Heart of Steel, Man of Steel, Heart of Steel was also very original piece of art, and I think it's a song to remember, even maybe not like the one who won or which won Eurovision previous years, because that's really great by Kalush Orchestra. I still like the song. Well, but let's summarize. Okay guys, I talked about all the songs I wanted this video. If you have any opinions about it, write me in the comments below what do you think. I really hope I didn't really attack your feelings or something like this. Not that I really care about this, because I want to give you my honest opinion, honest thing. And about those 5 songs, it was very hard to pinpoint something which I really would be like a huge critic. There were many other songs which deserve much more critique. Also, at some points I see that nothing is perfect, and also I'm fascinated by the fact that at this ladder, so like 10th place to 6th place, was like so huge difference from the public and the juries, that it's kind of annoying me. Not because I don't like this balance, I enjoy this balance, but I just don't understand why public cannot recognize such songs. I just don't get it. Like, why they cannot give them more credit, and they are giving credit to maybe things which are not that awesome. Even how does it count for the countries which reached the top 10? But there were several countries which just didn't deserve so many points, in my opinion. And yes, this balance probably will be there all the time. So I'm very glad that we have juries, and that we have also public to, mix the cards in the way that they are basically fair, in my opinion. Even if I don't agree sometimes with it, and also you don't agree with it sometimes. That's the balance. That's the democracy, It's a compromise. And I'm not the person who likes to doing them, but life won't ask me. If I don't do them, I'm screwed. And also Eurovision will be screwed without it, I think. This is the best thing we can have, so this is what I'm taking from it. That we need this balance. So please don't change Eurovision rules this way, because then we will lose it. And then we lose songs like those 5. And that would be shame for Eurovision, in my opinion. For its quality and for its professional character also. Anyway, you can have completely different opinion than I do. Write them in the comments below. Discuss with me. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Here. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my videos. Ring the notification bell, because I don't really post regularly. I cannot do it. And also watch my other videos about other countries, about other topics, but all related to Eurovision. And that's all from me for now. So thank you for watching. Bye.